Boards, games, it's what we're talking about. Boards, games, I'm not gonna shout. And neither is Maya, I think. We are starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing. And over there, you might be seeing Maja Škripelj dancing. And Maja is going to talk about, whilst, as I said before, we're not going to shout, we're going to talk about plastic cards and how they can do things which with other mediums would be hard. They can be waterproof. They can be transparent and let you see through. They can do so many other things, although I can't think of them. And so I'm going to stop singing and maybe we'll kind of get onto all those things in a minute. But board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, I'm not going to shout. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
And whoops, I'm just going to go back to my Twitch to check. Hello, and there's Xate. We started. Who says
Xate.
Welcome to Germany?
Germany?
I don't know why. Welcome to Germany.
We're not in Germany.
Assuming that this is a Spiel Digital morning.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So
we're
yeah,
not at school.
It's Spiel Digital. Hey. Although this is kind of, I guess this is me kind of just randomly parading outside with, my, just, I was going to go to Ben Maddox's route and say, okay, parading outside on a, with tackle in the wind and, just going outside and shouting and screaming randomly to people outside the halls without an actual booth or anything. But yeah, that describes us in not. Yeah, let's pretend that's exactly what I said. Yeah, just kind of riding around, nipping into the halls, maybe getting a taco or a spiral potato, running around, just kind of waving this in, wafting this spiral potato at everyone in the air, being like, do you smell that? Smells good, doesn't it? Well, I'm not. Okay, you look at me so sad. Okay, you can have a bite of my spiral potato. Yeah. And anyway, this is not a proper Spiel Digital thing, but this is us. I am Bez. I do a show. I'm talking and hello, Rob. It is lovely to see you. Rob Harper.
Hello, Rob.
I am Bez. It's his bedtime in New Zealand. This is the Bezzy Bedtime Board Game Bladder. Today with Maja Škripelj, we're talking about plastic cards. And so thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Ninja Spiel Digital. We're not the real Spiel Digital, we're just sneaking in.
Yes, yes. Hi.
So, let's start off by talking about a brilliant thing. What's the little thing which is brilliant?
Playtesters. I love them in every possible way. I love being a playtester. I love having playtesters, and they're the most useful thing a game designer can have. Other than, of course, developers and publishers.
And your own brain. Nice. And your own eyes and hands, those are good things. I enjoy being able to manipulate things with my hands.
Yes, that's also good. But we can't manipulate things with playtesters. They usually manipulate us a bit.
If you had playtesters but no hands, would that be better than hands but no playtesters? I think it might be, Because you
It
could get
might
someone
because
else to be your
yes,
hands.
if they're good playtesters, they could be our hands.
Mm.
I assume not in like the wholeness of my life, but only for the test.
Mm.
In the wholeness of my life, I'm not sure a playtester could replace my hands. It's kind of a creepy
But
notion.
your hands, you could get other people to help you out.
Yes, I could.
And
I could.
hello,
And
Alan.
playtesters are not really that replaceable. Mm-mm.
I mean, the thing is, without any playtesters, you wouldn't have any kind of second opinions. I mean, developers, it depends.
Yes.
Are you considering them a playtester of sorts? Because once they're
They
playtesting
are.
your games,
They are.
they are
Yes.
playtesting it. And so
Yes.
I would say that I am, in some sense, a playtester for a game that I'm not going to share, that I've got to contract for, that I'm officially developing. I'm in some ways a playtester for all the LDEC games that came through. That even though, I'm tweaking them and like
yes.
got
I agree. I think playtester is a very big variety of different people, and all of them are great. Like a developer is a playtester. Your family are oftentimes your playtesters. Other designers are your playtesters, and I think it's important to have them, important to listen to them, and that they are indeed brilliant.
Good morning, Alex. I think Alex
Good morning,
would.
Alex.
And so in the chat, feel free to tell us, do you agree that playtesters are brilliant? Why do you think that playtesters are brilliant? And Xate says that rushing back, to Ninja things, Xate did that last year, had a booth where they demoed assembly. Like, by a booth, I think this probably just means a random unoccupied table. And so that sounds quite fun.
Yes, it
and
does.
yeah, that's
Excellent.
totally fine if people are distracted by spiel. I totally understand that. And
Yes, of
Alan
course.
Nelson says playtesters need to pass a playtest first.
Wow. Like, are you really assessing your playtesters? Are you judging them? Are you telling them they're not good enough? I'm actually not. I think the worst playtesters are oftentimes more useful than like playtesters who think they are useful. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Oftentimes,
Morning, Chris.
Morning, Chris.
Oftentimes, I do agree because,
yes.
like, someone who hates the game, someone who says, "Hey, this is an issue." Like, look, you've got to think about: is this game at all for this person? Look, if I made Yogi Junior, like, again, this is not an announcement. I am not making Yogi Junior. But
why not this?
Because the Yogi Guru just came out last year, and there's still some countries where it's not being sold yet. So, and
one step at a time.
Yeah, one step at a time. Anyway, so if I were to make this and then I got Xate to playtest Yogi Junior, I think that would be a terrible decision because Xate does not like physical games. Xate would not like a Junior anything. Do you know what I mean? And
yes.
Yeah,
sure.
I would agree with Xate that some playtesters are brilliant. Sure, some people are just out of the. If I got Xate would not be a brilliant playtester for Yogi Junior. Someone who's so far outside the fields of what you want to make. And
but that's a designer decision, not
Chris.
a playtester decision. And even the worst playtester will make you learn something about you as a designer and about your game. It will make you learn. Even the worst of the worst playtesters will at least let you know that they're not your target audience or that you chose the wrong playtester. They will make you learn something about yourself, even the worst of them.
100%.
That's why they're brilliant.
And I think that Alex, ties into exactly what you're saying. That it's all about getting a perspective outside of your
Yes.
own, like kind of getting this second opinion. And
Yes, exactly. And one of the best playtests I've had, they've been bad, like horrible.
Rob says that it's good to just watch the playtesters just to see where they get engaged or confused or whatever. And I would say that absolutely. Chris warns us of, most playtesters are good, awesome people, but there are many who will try to mold your game to their whims rather than looking at what you're trying to create. So, if I were to start creating, to be fair, if I were to start creating Yogi Jr., Xates would not be trying to tweak it. At this point, there's a fairly clear expectation. This is what Yogi already exists. It is what it is. But let's say I was making Culadia, and Culadia is a game about let's say you've got plastic cards, and this is just off the top of my head. You've got like plastic cards for movements. You put the plastic cards on top of each other. There's like little footsteps, and then the last footstep needs to go over the top footstep, but you need to kind of manage to move around this dungeon. And that this is an idea for a game, right?
Yes.
And
yes, of course.
So this idea, I show it to some people, and maybe some people want it to be a light family game. Some people want it to be like a super involved game, like of the level of Gloomhaven or whatever. Okay, Gloomhaven is an extreme example, but you know what I mean? Like, do you want this to be a light game about, okay, you're moving around, you're trying to get to a particular target. Maybe that's the entire game.
Or do you want it to
Could
be
like a 50...
Yes.
Yeah, or do you want it to be a tiny mechanism in a few thing? And
yes. Even the playtesters Chris mentioned, the ones that want to push in their opinion the most, you can still, if you try, you can still hear the back noise of where it's coming from, what they dislike actually, and just mute the rest of it. I mean, I'm not actually good at this in practice. I just been listening to a lot of people who've been saying a lot of things about this. So basically, when someone tries to push their opinion on me, I even sometimes get mad because it's mostly my family. But yes, I try to do this thing that I don't even know who I learned it from. I try to mute the things they're trying to push on my game, and I try to hear the background of it. Why are they doing this? What don't they like, and why are they if of course they're my target audience. If they're not, then I mean, I've learned that they're not, and I move on.
And I think this is the thing, that at some point, you as the designer, you need to have this singularity of vision. You need to be able to bring the focus to the project, because I think that the worst, it's natural for the playtesters to want to say, oh, it could go this way, or it could go this way.
Yes.
And Chris talks about, I love this, where is it? I mold Bez's games to my liking, usually to what version I actually win. Because Chris has said, yeah, they are competitive, and if they win a game, they are more likely to enjoy it. It's just natural.
That's also what a lot of other players do. So she would also be a good playtester for you, right? Because
and it's in the early days, you just want playtesters to say, hey, who is this fun for? Is this fun? Okay, what am I trying to make? And maybe you are doing that exploration thing of what are you even doing? And then later on you start thinking, okay, Culadia, maybe it is an actually maybe it is a 10-15 minutes game of, okay, with your footsteps you get to the treasure chest, and it's just, can you get your footsteps to land on the exact pixel, if you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like that. Or maybe that's one small part of it. And okay, it's a 90-minute, fairly involved Euro game, but with this crazy measuring system and with some, I don't know, maybe you've got, it's like Ameritrash, bits of like thematic gaming. And at that point, it's like, okay, well, Xate, this is not your usual kind of game, but even at the same time, I'm still interested in hearing what you would have to say, because from an outside perspective, I am interested in your opinion, but take that with the perspective that this
You're
might not
not
be the game for
target
you.
audience.
I'm
Yes,
sorry,
yes.
Xate.
Xate,
I'm
you're
just
on the knife today.
Anyway, we are all agreed that playtesters are brilliant. They give you other opinions, they challenge you, they allow you to see what your game is like when it's really being played by humans, and so let's hear it for playtesters.
Woo!
Yay for playtesters! Now, let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. And I have seen Chris came in and said that their recent highlight is making a headphone call them a rude word when it turns on, as it kept butchering Chris's name. So Chris is really enjoying that because, yeah, I was chatting to Chris yesterday. It said that it was calling them, hello, Christiane, because it doesn't pronounce their name correctly. And that's not Chris's name.
Wait, I need to try this.
So you've got this thing.
Chris, will you please write it on the chat so I can try to pronounce it?
So Chris, yeah, put down your
I want to.
the actual spelling of your name so that Maja can try and read it out loud. Okay.
No, not the Christian.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes, exactly.
Christian?
I mean, the emphasis is normally on the Chris, but Christian Hacker Hearn to say that's
because
literally
that's
perfect.
how we say Christian in Croatian.
Wow. I played 2 games yesterday, I want to say. I played some more games with the Blinks, which so far I'm not. It's a really nice idea, and if you're a programmer, then you might want to get them. I'm glad I got them because it feels like it's a notion of where games might go. I'm a bit disappointed with them so far. Now, I also played Just One with Heather and some other people that meeting up every couple of weeks on a Wednesday with, or we've got some sort of support group. Yesterday was our first ever meeting. This is my recent highlight. So yeah, we got together. Oh, also I played couple with Chris. And we managed to get a rating of brilliant, I think, which is pretty good. I did maybe do most of the suggestions, but Chris saw a few really good words, which I was quite excited about. And yeah, so it was a good day, and just getting stuff done with Chris. And we also got a whole new version of the categorical deck, which if you go to the Discord, then you will see it there. I'll put it on Twitter later today, probably. It's also on my Instagram.
Great. I forget to follow Instagram regularly. I have it. And
I will actually show it just now.
I forget to show it.
So while I'm showing it, talk about your highlights.
I played The Crew with my family. I played Tapestry, even though it's not really that recent. I played it like almost 2 weeks ago.
Nice. I
And
just got Tapestry. How are you enjoying it? Well, actually, I
um
shouldn't let your opinion taint mine. But say what you want.
I like it. I like it. It's fast. It's doing some interesting things. I like the choice of you actually only have 4 actions to choose from. So it actually stops the analysis paralysis. You do have like
Hmm.
those extending actions you can plan for, but in the exact moment you can only choose from 4 actions, and that's actually a good thing to have. Oh yeah, I actually looked at those. They look nice. They look nice. Um, and what else? I've been doing a lot of solo testing on my game, the Cloudshifters. A lot, like I did almost 50 or so solo tests in the last week. So yeah, that's my recent highlights.
Yeah, doing a lot of playtesting by the sounds of it. So that sounds like, stuff's getting done.
I
And
hope.
we've got Sate says that Croatian people are the nicest people in the world.
Yes, to other people. To each other, we can be quite mean sometimes.
Hmm. And yeah, if anyone else has any other recent highlights, then
Yeah,
let us
sure.
know. And yeah. Oh, maybe yeah, might yeah, I don't have anything else to share. I did have a my housemates came back from work. They don't normally go out to work, so they came back with a bunch of books from their work. It's like books of artists and paintings. So it was quite nice to flick through them. And then we had a nice wee conversation and a chat. We were hoping to play a game together, which would have been yet another game. But then they said, "Oh, sorry, I need to go up and tidy my room," which was a bit
Oh,
disappointing. But
right. I actually remembered something because you mentioned looking through books. I remembered that I just recently found my first ever sketchbook from the first game I worked on with my husband. And I
ooh,
have like all these sketches from like the start until so
can't see it
it
very
was
clearly
actually
because it's
just a
maybe a bit
sec.
shiny. Ooh, nice, fun.
So I have all this that I've done by hand. This one I like really much.
Oh, lovely.
And
That
it's
is
a
beautiful.
darling I had to kill. But it was fun finding it and remembering how we first were working on it.
And yeah, I agree with
Thank
Chris. It
you.
does look amazing. Um, Other Chris says that they had some nice sausages. Alex
Oh,
came
yum
back
yum.
home to find her family all playing Ice Cool, and then they joined in. That sounds like a lovely thing.
Yes, it does.
You know that Ice Cool?
Yes, I know, I know. My brother has it. When I say my brother, he literally lives above me.
And I'm so happy to read Disc Sate and lots of love. And
Yes,
yeah.
it.
Oh, apparently, um, Alex's son made up their own version
Wow,
of Ice Cool. I don't know, is
excellent.
this like some house rules? Is this like an actual physical board? What's going on here? That sounds.
Yes, we would like to know more. Sounds
And
exciting.
let's start off with the questionably quick questions. Where
Yes.
exactly are you?
Croatia, Zagreb, a small part of it that's on the east of the Zagreb.
Okay, so Zagreb is the
Zagreb is
capital.
the capital of Croatia. It's in the middle of the state, but it's also like 2 hours from sea, so even being a continental lady, I get to see sea a lot.
That sounds awesome. What time is it there exactly?
It's 11:24.
Rob Harper says, would you prefer a duck-sized playtester or a playtester-sized duck?
Obviously, a duck-sized playtester.
Oh, just to take a step back, Alex says it was a different game with the same components. You spread the cards around the table, you had to race around the outside if you land on the card to get that many extra turns.
Wow.
It was completely broken, but quite fun.
Completely broken, but quite fun is one of the best things.
I mean, it's all about the joy of.
Yes.
So, you have 2 daughters, correct?
Yes.
How old are they?
Risa and
Can I ask?
Elia. Yes, the older one, Risa, is 3 years old, and Elia is 1.
Wow. Are they playing any games? Are you?
I've been trying to teach Risa some games. I also tried to let Elia see some games, not really play them. Risa has just a few days ago, I realized she's pretty good at dominoes. And I mean, pretty good. She knows the concept and does it correctly,
Is able
follows
to
the
match
rules.
the things.
Yes,
That's pretty impressive.
we also have Funkelschatz.
Funkelschatz?
Yes, it's the one from Haba where they Dragon's Breath, where they have they stack like this transparent tower, and you remove a circle, and then the little crystals fall out, and you need to collect your crystals. She loves that one, even though she doesn't play it like 100% by the rules, but it's okay. She's been playing with the big tower from I mean,
yeah, I agree. It looks a
designers
little
would
like
kill me.
Kerplunk, if you know that old game.
Kerplunk, I don't actually.
Kerplunk is a very old game. I don't know if it's the availability in Croatia, but over here you see it's all the time, even in charity shops.
Yes, I know.
And it's actually a really good game. I would play this with my little niece when they were quite small. But the downside is it takes a long time to set up, if you know what I mean.
Yes. And this one doesn't actually. You just put the rings one on top of the other, and then you put all the crystals inside. So it's quite...
Sate says that that's the answer to the quiz on the Haba stream. Can you show us the name again? Of the Haba game that you showed.
Yes. Here.
Well, let me make you bigger. There we go. And hello, I see that Descent Games. Hello, Jess. Lovely
Jess.
to see you. My 4-year-old loves dominoes. She beat Grandad yesterday.
Oh, excellent.
And hello, Meatball Overboard. It's lovely to see you. And yeah, I kind of agree with this. It's too problematic.
Yeah, that's problematic. Yes, it is. And Funkelschatz, actually, it takes longer to do all the things because you remove the disc, then they fall out, then you need to sort them, and especially for my 3-year-old, she's like, I need to remind her for every color, and where does this go? Is it mommy's or is it yours? And then so yes,
it's a really useful thing, like playing all these games. What do you think is the advantage of playing games with your child? I mean,
everything. I mean, you have fun. That's the most basic thing, but also you learn things. I've been playing Uno with her also, but we don't actually play Uno. We play mix and match. We learn numbers, we learn colors. I show her, this is red. It can go to red or it can go to number 1. Where is number 1? And so we kind of learn while we are playing. It's the same thing with Funkel shots. She's still not really familiar with naming colors. She can distinguish them, but she's not really familiar with naming them yet. I don't know. Is it supposed to? I think it comes in the third year they learn to recognize colors and name them. I think, I'm not sure.
I don't know if that counts as a game.
It is. Cleaning up the room is also a game. It's a game. Can you get the cubes, the Legos to fall into the box they're supposed to be in? It's a game. And yes, games do develop their motoric skills. It's best in all the ways.
Yeah, I kind of feel like a game is where the focus is on the activity as you're doing it, whereas work is focused on the outcome. So
Yes,
I would posit
yes.
that if you are vacuuming and then the goal is to like get this whole thing clean, or if it's that the focus is on getting all the Legos into the box, then it's more work than the game.
No, but it's a
And I
social
think that
deduction game. It's a social deduction game. They think it's about getting that one Lego into the box, and you know it's about getting all the Legos into the box. Come on, we've all played that game.
Apparently, Alex's boys are all about being tickled.
My girls are about being kissed or hugged, not tickled. I mean, the younger one likes tickling, but the older one kind of hates it.
I've got two nibblings that I've never met. They were just born in April. And so
Corona and everything.
Corona. Sorry. Yeah. The other thing that my other two nibblings, the slightly older ones, one of which is coming up to 11 in not too many months, and they are all about being lifted up and swung around, like an airplane or something, or like a helicopter, just picking them up. But you need to make sure there's enough space, obviously, because
of course,
that's the most important thing.
Yes, safety first.
And hello, Leifta who says, when the kids get a bit older, you find out where preferences are. My girl likes talkie games, story dice, code names, and my son likes long-themed games, Hogwarts Battle, Sternenfahrer, but we started with Sequence Kids and other kids' games.
Yes, the kids do get communicative through the games. In the games, you can learn all kinds of stuff with them, especially storytelling games. I have a storytelling game from my friend, who's a Croatian friend who made a storytelling game, and she actually uses it with kids as a teaching thing and to make them learn how to express themselves. Let me just fetch it for a second. I will be back in a second.
Okay. So, back whilst Maja is gone, we can all say what we really think about them. So yeah, I don't think that Maja is.
I didn't know. Sorry.
Don't tell Maja anything that we said, okay?
But I didn't actually want to. I didn't know we will talk about this. But you see, she has this part of the game where you are building up a character.
Ooh.
And you have like a face, then you have body, and then you have feet. But on each of these cards, you have text here, and it's a characteristic of the player you are making. So when you're making the character, you're actually choosing their abilities. So this one is focused, this one is lazy, and this one is responsible. So
That
you
sounds like
basically
focused and lazy. That kind of goes against each other. That's a weird.
yes, but no, it doesn't. You can be focused and lazy. I think I can be focused and lazy because a focused lazy person uses the shortest way possible to get to their means. And
very philosophical. This game is very deep for a what I thought was a kids game.
And what she thought, she thought it that the kids will be making the character by the looks, and it ended up that they're actually choosing the abilities. And then and basically she made this middle ability, the body, is always a bad ability. So she is teaching them that no one is perfect. She is also with their building, you can feel from the kid what actually they feel, and when they're storytelling this whole fairy tale thing that she has, then they are actually expressing themselves and oftentimes show their fears and their problems. It's made up like it ended up being a very useful tool
really cool.
for teachers.
Can I ask you to show us the name of the game again? Because
yes, I can.
Or maybe
but
type it.
It's,
can you type it in the private?
It's
actually
Sillier Qs. It's Croatian. It's only been published in Croatia. She self-publishes it. She's trying to go global, but is still on her way to do it. So
okay, so when you said the lazy and the focused, that was you translating from Croatian?
Yes. Yes, okay. That was me translating from Croatian. It was fokusiran and it was ljen.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what yen means.
Yes.
But, fokusiran, that's pretty... Okay.
Yes.
So let's go to the traditional questionably quick questions to finish this off. Did you have breakfast?
Yes, if nibbling on chestnuts is breakfast.
Yeah. When did you wake up exactly?
8.
Okay.
8.
What did you have for dinner last night?
Dinner last night was whatever my daughter left.
Iced coffee or hot tea? Don't worry about it.
Hot tea, always hot tea.
What's the last game you played physically?
Last game I played physically, The Crew.
Okay. What's the best thing to eat or drink whilst playing games?
Oh, people will hate me. Chips. Chips, and you do it with what's the name? Chopsticks.
Mums Unite, always eating the leftovers.
Yes.
I should say Parents Unite. I mean, yeah.
Yes, Parents Unite. My husband hates all kinds of food, and he always eats it after them.
There we go. Alan Alton is part of the leftover club.
Yes.
Who's the last person you spoke to in person?
In person? My husband.
Okay. Books or podcasts?
A hard one, because even though I kind of like both, they both end up in the same part of I don't have time for this. But let's say podcasts. Even though I like streams more than podcasts because I can see the person and it feels more natural.
Yeah, and you said that with a stream, you kind of feel like there's these co-workers.
Yes,
so it actually helps you focus.
It feels like a part of me, and I have trouble with the podcast that they stay in the background for me. I start listening to it, and then if I'm doing something else, they disappear. And with books, I usually start reading something and just like never finish it. So I think I've not finished an adult book for a long time.
Yeah, I can sort of empathize with that. I still making. Yeah, not going to get into that. What's your favorite color to play?
Blue.
Cards or cubes?
Actually, teal. Is it
Teal.
teal?
Okay.
The blue with the greenish.
So not quite cyan, a little bit more blue, but
Yes.
hmm.
It's
Cards or cubes?
cards or cubes? Cards.
Wooden meeple or plastic figurine?
Wooden meeple. Always wooden meeple.
Hmm.
But it's if you have the ability to make the choice, then that's the best. But if you can't allow people to choose, then meeples.
Art or rules?
Rules. It's
Three
a hard
board
one,
games
but
that you love. Oh, sorry, I should have let you finish.
it's a hard one because art is very important, and in few games it can be more powerful than the rules. But without rules, you don't have it.
Yeah. Three
Few
games you
games I
love.
like. Mystic Vale, my favorite game. I will add here Terraforming Mars. I will also let's pop in something different. So code names I also like. I like Caverna.
Okay. I mean, you're going above and beyond. That's the fourth. But we'll stop you there before you just get to, doing a top 10. So, do you have a favorite board game shop somewhere close to you?
Yes, it's Carta Magica. It's, I think it's the only dedicated board game shop in Zagreb. We have a lot of shops that give board games, but Carta Magica is like the board game shop, over here.
And finally, before we get to the main topic, I would like to ask you about a typical day for you recently.
A typical day for me recently. Getting up, making clothing and giving food to kids before I take them to preschool, then coming back, then doing a lot of things on my game, testing, then going to preschool for kids, making lunch, and that's kind of it. After we eat, we play a little, and it's bedtime. And bedtime means actually that I get to have some free time for watching movies or something.
And so
there's a question, sorry. Do I mostly play games in Croatian? No. No. Why would I play games in Croatian? We play games in Croatian if they're word games. That's everything. Sorry, let's continue.
Well, Alan is, sad that they didn't get asked the core questionably quick questions yesterday. And, we already know your answers, Alan.
Yes.
That's the thing. I just assume that everyone already knows you.
Yes.
So let's get to the main topic, which is plastic cards.
Yes.
Why use plastic cards and what it's all about. What's our plastic cards anyway? So yeah, like during this point, feel free to comment, keep chatting amongst yourselves, keep asking questions. I might only kind of put up some of this stuff, but I really appreciate all the chat. So yeah, what's our plastic cards? I mean, it's just cards made out of plastic? Is there anything else to say?
Yes, it's card made out of plastic, and specifically the ones I like the best, the cards that allow transparency. Because only plastic cards can do that. Paper cards would not do that well. So yeah, I kind of stolen the chat to talk about my favorite games a bit. Because this is Mystic Vale, of course.
Now, plastic cards, obviously, the unique properties that they have, we already talked about, the transparency.
Yes. And the transparency, the waterproof element is also a very big one. And what they're sturdy. They don't tear like paper cards do.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to do it because I can't. Yeah, I would if I could find a French or English version of Yogi, but I can't. I'm not going to do this to another language because I. But seriously, there's this very beefy person called John Dodd who runs the show at UK Games Expo at Dragon Meet, and I said, hey, check out this card, it's really hard to tear. And they said, oh, come on, let me have a go at it. And then they're for like 1 minute trying to go, He said, okay, well, you know what, you can tell people that I could not rip it. And you know what, if anyone manages to rip it, here's a tenner. Whoever manages to rip it can get a tenner.
Oh, don't say it publicly. There will be people asking you in the email.
That Fabio Lopiano managed to rip it, and basically it's about getting the heat of the friction and just if you keep doing that for about 5 minutes.
So now you said you will give a tenner to everyone who rips it, and now you're giving instructions. You're up for
no, not to everyone. Just it was to the first person.
Okay, to first person. Excellent.
Yeah, so like that's it. It's gone now. You don't get a tenner for ripping up Yogi cards. But if you get one of these cards, seriously, like when I first got them, I was like, whoa, can these even be ripped? And I couldn't actually rip them. And then to the prototype, I took scissors to them just because it was like, could they even slice through scissors? I was like so amazed by this thing. And yeah, they are really indestructible. You can wash them, as you say, like in this day and age. You could literally, maybe not in the dishwasher, because I am going to say some of the chemicals can damage the ink on the cards.
Probably, yes.
And
probably.
I will say from experience that if you go into a swimming pool, which is based in London, in a club, as in there's a nightclub called it's not open now, but called the Aquarium, which they actually had a swimming pool and a hot tub. Because it's a nightclub, there's lots of chlorine there. And so if you take the cards there and play them in the swimming pool and then don't rinse them off, then it will start, just corroding the cards.
I played these. These are my first plastic transparent cards I ever got. I played this at the swimming pool and never had any damage on them, but probably not as much chlorine.
As in a nightclub.
Yes. And since they have like these holes for, they have a plastic, what's it called, ring like that goes around. You can do this and check that you really can't destroy them easily.
So that's a lot. There's the transparency and just as
the indestructibility.
And the waterproof.
Yes.
As a case study, what's that Uno thing all about? Does it use the transparency at all, or is it just Uno?
No, it's just a gimmick. It's just a gimmick because they were making plastic cards, so why not make them transparent? It doesn't do anything. However, it did get me wondering if you were to use something like this on the L deck. It could be used in other games, like now you see part of the, let's say, edge, the borders you have. That could be an interesting thing too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Hello, J Fool's Guard. I think that they're saying that's
Hello.
very specific for this one nightclub in London. Yeah, I'm aware. Basically, what I'm saying
Probably.
is don't, if you are going after lockdown, if you go to the aquarium and play yogi, I heartily encourage that. I would even come with you to the aquarium to play yogi after lockdown because I would love to go clubbing once it's safe and once, everyone has the vaccine again. But I would suggest we rinse off the cards afterwards. That's all I'm saying.
And don't bathe them in chlorine if you don't have to.
Well, if you're like in a swimming pool, like it's fun. Why not play it?
No, no, no. I didn't say that. But like, don't clean them with chlorine.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
good.
And Alan Outson says that would be a good idea for a game of.
Yes. Yes, it would be interesting, right?
Like
To have something like this on the L deck, then you would have like this. What you actually need for the L deck is the same background for all the cards, and on the front you could still have your things.
wait, so there wouldn't be any transparency, or would there?
There would be transparency. You would just have like zones that aren't transparent, inside of which you would put
Okay.
your standard elements, and then like, am I pitching online live?
I mean, it's
I'm not
turned
really. I'm just brainstorming a thing about how great they can be.
I mean, I just consider it to be like kind of sharing ideas, but like, let's move from like theoretical, hypothetical stuff into some of the games that have already been published using
Yes.
plastic. Obviously, people know I was going to mention Yogi.
Yes.
I did not know that they were going to make this out of plastic.
But they made a good decision there, right?
Absolutely. I mean, except for the rules, which are made out of paper, everything else, yeah, I don't know what language this is. Oh, I don't know if you can read that. Omania pe genunchi?
Genunchi.
I don't know
Yes,
what
I don't know
language
what that is, but perhaps someone in the chat knows.
But anyway, so the point is that they made this game waterproof. It's just when you're playing it, drinks might fall over, the cards might get wet with your beer. I have seen photos of someone saying, "Hey, we spilled Gatorade all over our cards."
It's Romanian.
Oh, it's Romanian apparently. Oh, hello, Doruk Alatoru. Hello, Doruk Alatoru. Yes, apparently this is Romanian. Oh yeah, it says .ro. So yeah, that checks out. There we go. .ro.
Excellent.
But anyway, so yeah, obviously you've got the resilience, and that's just used as a way to make it possible to be played in these environments. Same as Double, same as the Uno that you just showed.
It's basically only to be waterproof and to be able to play it at the beach, and basically to play it with kids, to have something spilled on it. It's for the games that are actually party games mostly, and are played in a less clean environment.
Yeah, like something that you're going to take to the pub. I mean, I assume you're familiar with Hive, with
yes, of course.
Pelago and Army of Frogs are very similar. There's these big chunky components that are washable, and if you've got Pelago or Hive, you can just take it in its bag, and literally all of that stuff could be washed. Like if you get beer on it, see, it's no problem. And so there's something
just put it in the washing machine and
okay,
everything is okay.
Well, bye-bye, Xate, and I hope that everything goes well. And yeah, sorry you're not able to see the end, but lots of love and have a wonderful spiel.
Yes.
So, yeah, with that indestructibility and waterproof, that kind of goes into one, and that's normally the party games. So let's go into the more interesting bit.
Okay, let's go to Mystic Vale, shall we? So Mystic Vale, which is my favorite game, designed by John D. Clare, John D. Claire, and published by Alderac, is basically a deck builder, which is not a deck builder, but a card builder. What it actually achieves is have a deck building experience while your deck not getting bigger, and you not having to spend more and more time to get things that you bought. So you start with empty cards and some of the basic ones.
And these are
And
all in
then
their
you-
own sleeves so that you can
Yes,
slot other
yes,
transparent
and then you
bits
slot
on top.
them on top, and it's a brilliant way of doing a deck builder mechanic, which doesn't get longer through the time. You know, you don't you get that thing you just bought in a couple of turns. So I thought it's a brilliant way to use it, and also it is a good example of using zones. It's what most of the transparent cards I know of are doing. They're using zones, and then they're creating a bigger picture.
And this
So
kind of allows some sorts of layering. And
yes,
I think
yes.
that gloom is probably one of the biggest things. I don't know if you've got that beside you.
Yes, I don't have here. I don't have gloom here.
But
It's something
similarly,
my
it has
friend
these
has.
zones
Yes.
that, you know, sometimes there's a icon there that goes over something
Yes.
else. Sometimes it's left fully transparent. So as you layer more and more cards in,
Yes,
you see
yes.
potentially you can see through to the original information,
Yes.
or you might get some sort of
Or
upgrade.
sometimes you don't. Yes. And actually, I think gloom is one of those where the back of the card is not always the same, so you actually do get some information or where this thing will affect your cards. I actually haven't played it, haven't managed to play it. I wish to do so, but the friend that has it is not really close, so we haven't.
When you say not really close, do you mean physically or emotionally?
Oh no, she lives here, but we play rarely, so we oftentimes forget that we had something in plan. So
both of these games, and also for those who want to look up a random thing, there's Redakai, which is a really, really bad game. I bought it, so it was a discontinued collectible card game, and I think it was basically trading off the license of this anime or something. But Redakai, it uses not only transparency, but also holographic cards that as you move, there's little animations on the cards, literally.
Oh.
So as you move your head, it's the most impressive cards I've ever seen, but also one of the worst games. I played it with close friends, and we were like, this is terrible. I played it with London on board people, and was like, is there any way to, and they were like, yeah, this is terrible. I was like, is there any way to house rule this to make this not terrible? And they were like, no, this is terrible. And I tried to think of a game which uses these cards, but that's the thing, like, cards are so specific, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so you can't easily make up a whole new game about. Anyway, sorry, designers of Redakai, I'm sure that you were under a lot of stress and there was a lot of restrictions on what you had to do, but it was just super. Maybe maybe I was just completely the wrong audience. Maybe I was just looking for something with some sorts of decisions in it, and it was just too limiting and too simple for my taste. So maybe if you were kids, small children, but you were okay with the violence of big monsters fighting each other, then maybe that would be a good for you. I don't know.
Yes, other games. John DeClaire actually made five games with transparent cards. It's Mystic Vale, Custom Heroes, Edge of Darkness, and Dead Reckoning. Other than Custom Heroes, all of the other ones are basically on the Mystic Vale principle of card building. And Custom Heroes does this thing in trick taking, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, there are a lot of other games that are either in development or other people are doing that I find very interesting. I don't know if anyone in chat knows some transparent card games. I always love to hear more about them.
So it feels like card crafting as a concept wasn't done by many other people. Whereas
I don't think it was really.
I mean, obviously, Dominion, is it just about the cost of producing these things? Let's get to, the downsides a little bit.
The downside, yes, the cost is a big downside. I'm not actually 100% familiar with the production costs, but I know it's... Thank you. I think I know who this is. Stefan, is that you? Answer? Yes, no?
Don't need it,
Stefan.
but it might take a few seconds for Jen to answer because there's a...
I know. There's yes.
Oh, it is Stefan, apparently. Sorry for the weird username.
Yeah.
So I have to apologize for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Stefan. Yes, I think the downside is the cost, most definitely, but not only the cost. It's the whole production process is not. I mean, Alderac, when they did Mystic Vale, I'm not sure if I have any now. They had a different production process than they did. With the later games. So actually the production process changed. On these ones, you would have a transparent filter that you had to rip off after a few games. Basically, you could have ripped them off. Here it is. You could rip them off on the first game, but they don't come off so easily because they were protecting the cards. So they would
oh wow
peel off.
So once it gets a bit dusty or not so clean, then you take it off and it's all clean.
I think it was something to protect the color in printing, but they left it so that cards have more shelf life, I think. But later on they changed the process and now they have this high quality plastic in their other games. I'm not sure of the things. I just know that these ones were different. However, the negative part is it's hard to do some things with them since you want to have transparency, right? So then you have transparency, but after what number of layers does it disappear? After a certain number of layers,
it's just too blurry to read.
Blurrier and blurrier. Of course, this is not a problem if you want to stack only 3 to 4 of them, but sometimes it can be a problem if you want to stack multiple or have a see-through deck. I've been trying to design a transparent card game. Also, it's very, very hard to prototype for me. Because I don't have any kind of cutter. I have only a knife. So this was like my first prototype ever for Cloudshifters was putting stickers that I hand cut on paper and then hand drawing. Then I went to printing. but when you print, it's semi-transparent. So if you don't want it to be semi-transparent, you need to again put stickers on it. And so prototyping can be a hassle. Tabletop Simulator helps a lot with this.
And
yes, the glare, most definitely glare.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot glossier than any sorts of paper cards.
Yes. It's glossier, which is problematic in harsh light, but other than that, it can sometimes be a good thing. It can help with, but yes, it's a problematic thing. Yes.
It feels like the general. You've talked about play testing and making prototypes. Let's talk a wee bit more about how you actually go about it. Yeah.
Well, you mean how I design it?
No, the physical construction of the prototype.
The physical construction of the prototype is literally me for 20 hours cutting stickers and then sticking them on top of transparent paper. Like that's how much it takes, 20 hours of time for me to create this. Because I'm not very good at cutting. And so to cut all of these, I had to spend 20 hours of time. I'm hoping to get a cutter soon, so it would take less time.
I mean, what do you use currently? Have you got a scalpel?
Yes, a scalpel and sometimes scissors. If I get tired of doing this, then I just change it up. With scissors, it's harder to peel it off afterwards. With scalpel, it's easier to peel it off afterwards, but I don't know.
Can you draw onto plastic with permanent markers when testing, or print directly onto the plastic?
Yes, both can be done. The printing I used to do with these transparent inkjet acetates, but those are kind of expensive. So I started outsourcing printing to a printer here, because they laser print it on cheaper paper, and it's actually cheaper for them to do it than for me to do it. So that's what I do. I used to, on my first prototype, hand draw, but other people are also drawing with Sharpies. Catherine Stipple, the designer of Nyctophobia, is doing Flipping Gravity. It's a transparent tile layer that's kind of like the game VVVV. So that one, so that one, in physical prototypes that I've seen, she's been using Sharpies, and on Tabletop Simulator, it helps a bunch with prototyping and with changing things, because it actually allows us to change things more quickly. But yes, her Flipping Gravity looks amazing, and I wanted to play test it a few times, but when I even entered a playtesting Discord server that she uses, but I never get to be there for the scheduled testings because of the kids and the stuff. So I unfortunately didn't try it yet, but it looks amazing. She uses it like, they change the direction, and I think they fall, and I don't know what the mechanics are, but it looks amazing and it looks interesting. And also I've seen Eric Street. He did the Macromancers, which way games. He did the Macromancers. He's actually been doing prototyping with transparent sleeves and then putting cardboard in. I've seen that, or even sticking on transparent sleeves, because then he actually has the card already. And I also saw him painting on top of it. So I'm not 100% sure how he does it, but yes, he does that. And also there's Jasper Kerr. He did the map. He also had this tile laying. What do you call it? The deduction thing.
Okay.
Yes, but it's even closer to it's not really telling, because it's a deduction things where you need to find your way around the treasure map. So you get one hint here. The X is left of the palm tree, so you get this thing here, and then it says the X is south of the water, so you combine these things and you end up having directions to the treasure. It's something that reminds me a bit about I don't remember the game. Is it Catacombs? I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, where you're flicking the things and then you have to flick for the dexterity. That's Catacombs.
No, I'm not sure. I don't know which one I'm talking about. It's the one where you also get these clues about where something is, and then more clues give bigger picture. Except in Jasper's game, it's like this clue give you a visual of the position.
Nice.
So that one is also extremely interesting to me. And the canvas, which is published, I think. That
new
one
game
has...
for 2020. I've not seen it, and unfortunately there's no images that I'm allowed to show of Board Game Geek on there. But it looks beautiful.
Yes,
and so I will just share a link to that in the Twitch.
Yes, they have the thing where they actually use zones. They use this. So we have zones. The way of using the transparency. We have zones. We have tiling, and we have this like merges between things. And actually, Canvas is using both the zones, and it's using the actual formation of the image to create a bigger image, which is very, very beautiful, and ends up looking pretty. But for the actual... Hi there, Jess. And for the actual gameplay, it's more of having the zones match in a way.
So I actually it feels like structurally you can either have these transparent cards being placed directly on top of each other,
yes,
or on some sorts of grid, in which case then it becomes easy to say, okay, this parts of the cards is going to overlay this other parts of the cards, like in Mystic Vale, or you can offset them, and that's when you're offsetting them. They, unlike traditional cards, you can offset them partially, have that information coming through, and so
and when offsetting, there's also this thing of, will you use grid or will you not use grid? Because using grid is actually useful. Sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, it's correct. And also there's a notion of what exactly is a grid, because potentially you might be able to link them up anywhere that you want, or you might, in that, I can't remember what I called that crazy idea. It wasn't that crazy an idea, but like with the footsteps matching up one of the previous footsteps on the cards, it's not exactly a grid
No,
because
that's
these
not a
can
grid.
be
That's
all
organic.
organic, but you have a restriction on where exactly you can place these things.
Yes.
So that makes it.
And I'm actually trying to do with I actually didn't tell about Cloudshifters to people who don't know. I'm designing a game called Cloudshifters. It's a transparent card layer. It's like a tile layer but with cards, and I'm actually not using a grid there. So you can place them in any orientation, which then allows you to do things, but you also have to, when you take a card, you have to know what you'll do with it. So sometimes you'll be able to match lightning, sometimes you won't. But it's quite hard to balance it and do stuff with it. I'm trying to design a good game with it, but we shall see what will happen of it.
Yeah, let's get into this and let's chat about why did you use plastic cards? What was the benefits here, and how are you using them?
It actually came from my 18 card game I did a while back. It was a 360 degrees tile layer where you were building C. I don't have a prototype over here, but over time I did some changes on it, and a lot of changes brought ideas into my head, and I said, wait, what if you were able to place card in any direction but also see through it and match parts of it? So the ideas for the team were either clouds or trees, and I decided on clouds because they give you more freeform shapes. So yes, that's what what the idea was behind it.
So yeah, sorry, something seems to have happened. Did something happen to your audio?
Audio? Am I?
No. It's working actually. Sorry, just I heard something.
Sorry.
No worries. But yeah, it looks beautiful, and so it sounds like there's just so much functionality of, rather than having these shapes that you layer on top of each other, where it's always a rectangular thing, you can have now these lovely organic shapes, like the clouds that you're showing. I could kind of ask, well, for the bigger pieces, could they have just been little cutouts, if you know what I mean? Would that have worked?
They could have, but I don't think really, because the thing that transparent cards allow me to do is have lines on them, have dots that are connected but not
Visually.
dots that are connected on the card but not visually connected. So I can drop this here, see, and now I've made this cloud have both a lightning and a snowflake, and it generates this whole other world of possibilities. It's like with the standard tile layers, you have things that need to be next to, things that don't that should not be next to. Sometimes you can have things on top, but rarely. And you're basically trying to get your grid to do something, and here it's just all chaos that you're trying to organize.
Do you know about the production? You said that you've not really looked into it so much, but Alan asks about the type of plastic commonly being used for plastic cards.
I don't actually know what type of plastic this is. Not really sure.
I mean, this might be a topic that we can get someone else to, do a follow-up on at some point. Because
yes, if they know more, I am willing to learn everything about plastic cards, about transparent cards. It's like...
And Jeroen asks, have we ever thought of using the Polaroid option, like a Polaroid filter? I'm not
Polaroid.
sure. Not sure what you mean by that. Meant if you turn it a quarter when you see other things. Do you mean like with the little ridges? Is that what you're talking about? It's that kind of holograms?
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Oh, so yes. So apparently Jeroen is talking about the holograms.
Oh yes, the holograms. I've actually not entered that specter of thinking, but I would love to see a game that bases itself on that. Rotating the card reduces transparency.
So apparently, if you've got ridges in the plastic on one side, I think what people are saying is that if you rotate it like that, then it can actually make other things invisible.
That sounds interesting. I would like to try that.
Yeah, please. Oh, bye, Chris. It's lovely to see you. And yeah, so you are actually. So what I'm learning is that I need to have your own. I don't know if you're an engineer or how you know about plastic, but we need to have someone on at some point to talk about the qualities of plastic and production.
Yes, I would love to hear that.
Should have more people who are from the production field for sure.
I mean, I need to give a disclaimer here. I'm not professional to talk about plastic or transparent cards. I'm just an enthusiast here.
Well, Jess is just saying, yeah. Look, you've done a lot of work in here. Oh, Aquasulu says it's how 3D glasses in cinemas work. And yeah, absolutely, that's totally fine because we're all learning together and that's like part of it. It's not meant to be necessarily, okay, sometimes we have people who know more, but no one is above reproach. Even if you've been doing it for decades, there's still new technologies and there's so much more that, we're all going to learn together. Yes, and so let's move on to, are there any other problems that we've not talked about?
Other problems. We've talked about how the transparency disappears after a few layers. We've talked about how the glare enters. We talked about that the production is more complex and not everyone knows how to do it. Not that not everyone can learn, but not everyone is willing to enter that. Also, we've talked about how designing things organically is sometimes harder than... Are we doing a recap? We're already doing a recap, I think.
No, I mean, like, there's more to go. And Alan's shared this video where it's of the Polaroid rotating effect. So I'm going to just share that link onto Facebook and YouTube. So after the fact, you will be able to see it everywhere. That's a really nice video.
I've looked at it for a bit. Yes, that would be very interesting to use in the game. Oh, I didn't think Bez is plastic shaming me. Why do you think that?
Yeah, I'm totally
No,
not.
he's not plastic shaming me. We're just finding. Oh yes, the crypto. Yes, I forgot about that. Yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah, because there you've got a single color. So like in Decrypto, it's really interesting because you've got it's like the
Y-
old style 3D glasses where you've got one red, one blue, and then that stops to well, it means that the blue red kind
yes,
of
yes, yes,
mixture
yes.
is totally invisible. So you're basically seeing two different things, one from each eye. And in Decrypto, it uses that same technology. It's red transparent, so you flick this thing in, and all this red messed up jumble that obscures the information goes away, and then you can see this little bit of text.
Oh my God, people are giving me so many designer ideas. I want to. I need to stop thinking about those and think about my one design. This all sounds so fun.
I mean, let's ask. So before we, so let's ask, how can we do it well? I know that
Hmm.
you've not yet managed to publish Cloudshifters. There's a
No,
lot of
no.
work left to go,
Yes.
but from your experience, from like seeing all the plastic cards games out there, from having played them, what advice would you give to people that are thinking of bringing something new to this world?
I would just tell you, give it a go. I mean, try it. I mean, this Polaroid thing sounds amazing. Why doesn't someone try that? So I don't
Hmm.
have to. I think we should try find people who find our things interesting and push on and try to accomplish our goal. Find people who will support us. Find if you don't know how to do it yourself, find a publisher who will know how to do it. Try your best and don't be afraid to fail because
Hmm.
that's all I can say. I'm not afraid to fail and I'm trying my best. Yes.
But I think that that's such a lovely thing to kind of just encourage people to do the thing and try the thing.
Yes, and
And
don't be afraid that your idea is too specific to share because sharing is part of how you get better.
hmm,
I was afraid to share a lot of things, but Cloudshifters, which I think is my most unique thing, I was not afraid to share because I needed to learn. I needed to learn more
hmm.
and more and more. And to do that, I needed to share so that people can reach me and tell me things. And let's get back to the brilliant thing of playtesters. It's just you need to
Yeah,
try, and if you fail, you fail.
I think you're right. And it's all about putting yourself out there and just yeah, giving yourself that freedom to fail, but then it's learning, okay, how did this go wrong? What can I do better? What can I do
Yes.
differently? And yeah, it's a wonderful world where so many people are ready to give you advice to help you along that journey. And so many people are doing this not because they want to like it sounds like you are doing this not because of financial compensation, but because it's like that question of what if this exists, and kind of having
Yes,
that joy of
yes.
discovery.
Oh, and I do have a suggestion for anyone out there. There was a designer, I don't remember who it was, on my Twitter feed, who said if a thing in your design is complicated to explain, don't do it. And it's kind of wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong. They're not wrong. You should be able to explain things more easily. However, if I have stopped at that point, and when I started with Cloudshifters, they were, I mean, the whole rule book was at every part of the rule book. I was like, how do I explain this? How do I explain this? Are these zones? Are these clouds? Are these cloud clusters? What are they? So basically everything was complicated, but then I tried it. Then I simplified it. Now not everything is complicated anymore, but I had to fail to get to that point. So
I think that sort of advice, hey, if it's too complicated to explain, just remove it. That kind of applies when you've got the core of the game already out, and
yes,
once like,
yes,
okay, something's already working. But
yes.
when
But if
you're
you're
just
just
experimenting with this one thing, like if the whole point of this game is one thing and that's complicated to explain, you want to keep iterating, and I totally get what you mean. It's like when we
yes,
went back to right at the start of the show, we were talking about in the designer's mind, they should have this singularity of focus. What are you trying to make? And if
yes,
what you are
yes,
trying to make is a game wherein maybe the whole game is about these footsteps that go around, maybe the whole game is about this Polaroid thing that goes around, and how can you turn that into a game? And sure, it's what maybe your entire game is about this one mechanic, and that one mechanic is a bit difficult to explain. And you
yes,
might
exactly.
think, okay, how can I phrase this differently? How can I? But you are allowed
You
to have one complicated thing in a game. If everything else is simple, you can have that one complicated thing, which is the focus. It's
and
like,
also the complicated thing doesn't have to stay complicated through your design process. It can simplify itself, but removing it from the start sometimes stops you from simplifying it in the end. So that's kind of also what I was thinking. I'm sorry,
yeah.
you were on a roll.
No. It's so no. I was done. It's been a lovely show, and thank you so much for joining us. I think it's about time to wrap up.
Yes, I think so too.
So it, we've have talked about quite a lot. We've talked about playtesters being brilliant for so many reasons. We had a good long chat about playtesters, about the fact that they offer you new opinions, about the fact that they can give you ideas, teach you more about your game. And hands are, if you're making games, apparently less important than playtesters.
Yes.
We talked about Kiri Biri Bajka, which is a lovely game in Croatian, but only available in Croatian currently, which is a
For
bit sad.
now. And I will be sharing it all over my Twitter when it actually comes to be international.
And if you want to find the Twitter, it's there. And we talked about playing games with children and the benefits of that. Then we actually got on topic. We talked about the transparency, the waterproof nature, the general indestructibility, how, it's generally for that waterproofness, indestructibility. It's going to be more party games like Double,
Yes.
Yogi. But even something like Hive, if you take it to a pub, the fact that you don't have to worry about what was on the table before, is the table a bit sticky? I would not play I'm trying to think of a game I would not play. Codex or Magic the Gathering without sleeves in a pub
Yes.
with expensive cards. Those cards can be pretty expensive. I don't want to be playing that in a pub. But Hive, look, I bring it out, and frankly, maybe it is something to do with the price of the game, but it's also something to do with the indestructibility. And in transparency, like, there's so many ways you can do it. And people brought in, like, okay, these colored filters and the what was it called? The
Polaroid.
Polaroid filter. Thank you. I
Yes.
didn't have that. Polaroid filters. We talked about custom heroes. Did redoing? Reckoning, sorry. Dead
Dead
Reckoning.
Reckoning, yes, Dead Reckoning.
And we talked about Glue, we talked about Redakai, which is terrible. We talked about how there's so many ideas. And
yes, and they're not explored yet. So if you have a new idea for transparent cards and you want to do something fresh in the design space, just go to transparent cards. It's all out there. You can do so many new things with them, and please show me when you do, because I would love to see it.
and Johan says, Maja, add me. Add me where? Are you meaning on Twitch?
Yes,
Are you meaning
where?
on Twitter? Where? Facebook? Maybe Johan means on Facebook.
Perhaps, I don't know.
Are you happy for people in the audience to add you on Facebook, to reach out to you there?
Facebook is they can try because my Facebook started off as a private thing, but then some designers added me and other designers added me, and I accepted those. So basically you can. I will probably make a separate private Facebook profile
So now your
for family.
Facebook is kind of too public. You know, you can do the hashtag filters on Facebook so that only certain people see some of your posts. I know that one of my friends has a mental health filter where they want to talk about mental health issues openly. Another of my friends had a surgery that they said, hey, look, if you want to hear about the surgery, tell me in the comments below and I will add you and I'll talk about my surgery. I know not everyone wants to hear about it, and I don't want to talk about it to everyone, so yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so Maja...
If someone wants to add me on Facebook, they can, but I will not be adding people on Facebook because I've never actually done it. I think I've done it a dozen of times, perhaps, because I don't know. I've never done it. I add people on Twitter. Twitter is my go-to gaming thing, and Facebook is just for me lurking and learning about board games in some groups.
But on Facebook, the name, are you the only... Can you pronounce your name properly for me?
Škripelj. Maja Škripelj.
Maja Škripelj. It's kind of Italian, almost.
I mean, we are close to Italy, but no, it's pronounced harder than that. Škripelj.
Škripelj. Maja Škripelj. Anyway, if you want to follow Maja Škripelj, then that's their name on Facebook. And I do want to say, Maja is Creek Geek. How did you come up with Creek Geek?
Oh, Škripelj is my last name, and škripati, škripanje, is the verb that means creaking sound, the creaking doors, creaking bed, creaking shelves. So it's Creek Geek. And it was actually a common name for me and my husband for a year or two, because I started it to self-promote my other game that never was published yet.
But it definitely follow Maja on the Twitter, and if you want, then find them on Facebook. I want to say I am stuffwithbez.com, stuffbez.bigcards.com if you want to buy my stuff, twitter.com/stuffbez. I'm stuffbez on Twitter. I share the most stuff with Bez on Instagram. I share pictures of highlights, I guess, pretty things and games I'm working on. Twitch.tv/stuffbez and youtube.com/c/stuffbez, because I managed to get my own YouTube channel, which is amazing. And also Yay! I've got a Discord, stuffwithbez.com/discord. If you want to join us in there, then yeah, it's just a thing where you can have some idle chat, say hello to people, or if you have anything to say about this subject after the fact, I will try to catch up and share these notes so people can talk more about Polaroid technologies or share any
Yes.
links. If there's any links of anything, then go to the Discord and share all the links. And I will share the links to Red Akai because I don't think anyone else knows this game. But it's
Yes.
a really terrible game. Don't play it, but it's really interesting. Anyway, so yeah, we've got people following Maya, and let's leave Maya's Facebook alone and follow them in other ways. Thank you very much.
It's just that I don't share that much on Facebook. I share on Twitter, and that's how I communicate. On Facebook, you can find me in Board Game Design Lab. That's where if I any time do stuff board game related on Facebook, and it's in the group. It's not even seen on my profile.
I want to say thank you so much to like everyone who's been watching for the fantastic discussion, and it's lovely to see you here, everyone, like Jess, Sates, Alan, Alex, like the moderators. Oh my god, I hate the fact that I started naming people and now I have to remember everyone, like
No, you can't. It's hard.
and David, Dartwin, and Jay Foolsguard, Jeroen, and Chris, who was here earlier on, and just oh yes, Doruk Alatoru. I can't remember who they were, but you know them from real life. And
no, I don't know them from real life. I know them from playtesting.
And it's like just lovely to yeah, have you all, and thank sorry. Jess says I'm not a moderator, I need moderating. And okay, well, I'm glad that yeah, so thank you everyone.
Thank
and now
you.
It's over to you. What are you up to? Share anything that you might want to, anything that you're looking forward to, hopes or ambitions. Share anything, whether it's exciting, trivial, important, or just fun. Obviously, the big news of today is that there's a big convention happening this weekend.
Yes.
You know, I don't think everyone knows what convention I'm talking about, so I'm just going to say it. It's a convention where we've, you know, for quite a long time, no one has been able to gather together. So now, finally, in New Zealand, WellyCon, it's happening this weekend.
Excellent.
So this is the first physical convention that is actually going on, and of course, I'm
Hi, Emma.
being slightly facetious. Hello, Emma. Lovely to see you. And yeah, I would rather be at WellyCon as well, is the truth, because that's like the physical getting together, and I so wish that I was here. So obviously, there's the biggest, what used to be the biggest physical convention in the world, which is not going to be physical at all this year, which is Spiel. Now it's online, and there's other stuff happening. Alan has a thing. I feel like I should probably, at like maybe in a couple of weeks, say, okay, Alan and a couple of other people who are actually at Spiel, I don't know, maybe like Sate and Tally, let's get together for a debrief and talk about how was it for you.
That would be excellent. That sounds amazing.
And it's, how are you feeling about Spiel? Have you got anything planned for Spiel?
Me, I'm very awkward at conventions, both physical and digital. I entered the when Gen Con was on, I entered the Discord and I just got so overwhelmed with stuff that I exited and never came back. but I'm better with physical ones, I think. And I think Spiel Digital is doing actually something really different from what Gen Con did. So I will at least try to see if I can attend some things. If anyone wants us to attend anything, feel free to share. If you have some scheduled stuff you want us to join. What are they talking about there in the chat?
So Jess says it's Friday in Thailand, another long weekend. Oh yeah, it will be. Wait, is it really Friday already? Are you sure? Is it really Friday?
I think that if they're in Thailand and we aren't, I think they know better than we do.
I mean, I thought it was about 4 p.m. like Thursday now.
Oh,
But
it is. But they have a long weekend, so it's kind of like Friday. I think they have a free Friday.
Okay, so they're going to Koh Chang, which is the island of elephants. That sounds cool.
Wow. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. So, wait. Oh yes, it is Thursday, but we have a long weekend, so it feels like Friday. Oh, Johan asks about my cup. So this is not something that I bought. This is something that was bought by my housemate. So I'm not going to name them or embarrass them. But yeah, it is. I've just finished my tea from here.
Yes.
If you want to find out, I'm having the Pukka nighttime tea, which was technically from yesterday, but yeah.
Jess says it's something you misreported.
Oh,
They're not
I'm
going.
Sorry. Oh man. Jess's friends are going. But I hope that they have a good time, and I hope that you enjoy your long weekend, whatever you're doing. And for Essen Spiel, I'm not planning a lot because I love conventions, but digital conventions just fatigue me. In real life, I get energized by older people. I would love to, if suddenly, if it were safe and if they were like, okay, here's 10,000 people, let's all get together and have a rave or have a play games together or whatever, I would be like, yeah, damn straight. I'm going to get in on this and do this. Absolutely. But
that's
I realized
similar. Yes, that they can energize you on digital platforms as much. Yes.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. I can relate to that. With digital things, I mean, your stream is one of the rare things that I managed to pull myself in and feel like this personal contact, because I don't know. In physical conventions, I get very stressed. I don't know, all these things, but I have this thing where when I'm stressed, I start being all tipsy and fast, and then it kind of gets me to the high energy level. And digitally, if I get stressed, if there's no one there to push me, like you are here talking and everything, then it's kind of yes.
And yeah, I like this. I mean, I'm really appreciative. That's why I do. And I'm really appreciative that Alan suggested I thank the recap wrap up. Thank you. Because the recap wrap up is a sort of separate thing. And then the thank you is, I just want to say thank you to like this amazing community. Like, thank you to everyone who's agreed to be moderators. Thank you to, it's really lovely.
And thank you to Bez, who is doing all this and made me feel like I'm at the workplace every day.
Aww. And I just, thank you to, I'm seeing like most of the people here, like Jess is actually going to come on I think when is it? Tuesday, Wednesday, Jess is going to come here.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh. That's, but yeah, it's like, I feel like it's like a family, and that's why, yeah, tomorrow, any of you who are here, like, you can just jump in on the stream. It's the first ever friendly Friday forum where just anyone jumps in, jumps off, and it's like, just love you all. And yeah, as we get into this spiel, I joined a Discord with Charlie Paul, who invited, they said, 200 people that they know that they would normally see during Spiel. And this isn't a Discord for promoting games or anything. This is a Discord purely just for trying to have that social connection. And this is specific to Alan and Charlie Paul. And normally at the end of every Spiel, we've got our own, even though I've only been going since, I believe, 2016, 16, 17, 18.
I've never been.
I mean, it's 4 years, but I've got these kinds of traditions. Like, one of my traditions is that I would always go to the toilets in the morning before it opens, and then try to not go for a long time. Like, I would always get my hair dyed before, I'd always, like, it's not really safe or suitable to go off and get my hair dyed and get everything done beforehand.
Yes.
But before Spiel opens, Spiel, this convention, how many is it? 200,000? Could look up on Wikipedia.
I don't know.
And anyway, like, it's the tradition of sometimes before it opens, going to the mead stands and then tasting some of their meads, and then going back to my stand. Potentially I've had a few drinks, and it's like, yeah, afterwards, the after night, hanging out.
Yes.
Like, yeah. And it's all about the people. So I want to say, yeah, however you are able to connect with other people, whether it's kind of having a video date where, okay, one of our traditions was we would all go to the restaurant together. It was always myself, Alan, Charlie, the Harmons, the people helping the Pauls, maybe Daniel Dancer, maybe Jerry, maybe, and yeah, it's going to be like maybe 10 of us. So we are all and I think this year it's going to be like 12 of us. We've decided that we're going to eat something physically. We're going to get our takeaway or cook something at the same time and eat something together. And
yes,
it's like a wee tradition, and try to keep in contact with people. Yeah, why don't we have a party on here? Yeah, that'll be what it is tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Come in at 10 a.m. time. It's just a party. Friendly Friday forum. Anyone is welcome. As long as I recognize your face, you can jump in. I'll share the link in the chat, and you can jump in and jump out as you want. That's what's happening. You know what? I'm not going to... if you want to drink alcohol, that is entirely up to you. I might actually drink a shot of mead just for the occasion.
Maybe in their where they live, it's like 10 p.m. So it's okay to drink that.
It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. Like, I'm not your mum. I'm not your mum. Sure, whatever you want. Yeah. It's 4 p.m. in Thailand. But yeah, it's been lovely, and I hate saying bye, but at some point it has to happen. So is there anything that anyone wants to share? Is there anything else that you want to share, Maja, about Spiel, about your plans, or anything else?
No, my plans are to work on my game and make it better and better and better, and hopefully good enough to be published.
Oh, there's one thing that Doggo Dash is on Kickstarter, so I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Talita, who was here the other day.
I think they have a prototype table at Spiel also.
Yes, exactly. So please follow this link, and yeah, shouts out to Tally. Everyone we were talking about. So there are up to 86 backers, which is really good. What I would urge everyone to do is to, if you can, if you are at all able, back it for like £1 even, like, and then write a comment, because just writing a comment to say, "Hey Tally, all the best," it's a lovely thing emotionally. B, it helps the Kickstarter algorithms get you up there, and it's just such fun artwork. And let me turn the audio off.
Is.
And so that's a lovely thing. And
yes,
so
I love this image.
And Jay Foolsguard says, "Tomorrow sounds great and messy. I don't normally drink, but sure. Drinking at lockdown is like drinking in the airport. Do it anytime you want." And so, yeah. These are the people who helped create Doggo Dash. There's Talita, Marguerite, and I want to say Johanna. But there's this lovely... Yeah, it's going to be a really fun game for kids, and so yeah, check it out. Even if you back it just for £1, you can actually get the print and play. So if you're a teacher, looking at you, Jess, then you could get it and then print it out and play it with all your kids. But yeah, that's my advert. Yeah, I agree, the video is really fun. Are we going to be playing games later today? I don't have any game playing plans. I'm going to basically... Yep, I know. So, do you have any specific game playing plans today?
I will be testing Cloudshifters and fixing them and testing them and fixing them. Other than that, I think I might perhaps play something if I'm not too tired in the evening.
I'm going to... so my plans, I should have said... Oh, my next streams... look at stuffbybez.com/streams, and today I am having another stream at 1 p.m, which is in about 1 hour, with Alan Paul on their Twitch. So I should actually probably set that. But go to twitch.tv/surpriseter. If you look at my calendar, which is my public calendar, then it has the correct link there. And I don't know what we're going to be talking about. So I think we're just going to be talking about different design approaches and how we make things. And my next 10 a.m. stream is today, which is the Friendly Friday Forum, which I talked all about. And why is my calendar not popping up? On Saturday, oh yeah, Saturday is bonding via designing with people from Jess's favourite parts of the world, with Dan Hughes and maybe Cora Hughes.
Excellent.
I hope that Cora has, feels okay. So I'm going to warn you all that Cora is 8 years old. So if Cora comes on, please be extra, special, no, don't even make it PG. Try to make it more, more family friendly. So not too many euphemisms, please, if that's okay. I will be a bit more strict. Yeah, but yeah, this is where did 2 a.m. come from? I missed something.
Oh, I think it's when your stream next stream is.
Wait, did I
look
did
at
I
it?
miss up something?
I don't know.
13? No, I'm just confused. Oh,
I'm also. I don't know.
But apparently, Jess's favourite part of the world is the Lake District, or Scotland. Yes, I like word games. I am probably going to be, by the time I'm free from Alan Paul's thing, it's going to be a bit late. You know what, Jess? I hear that Alex has an L deck game that they need playtesters for. So Alex
Oh
and Jess.
yeah, they said
So
it
Alex,
earlier.
was your game a words game? Because genuinely, Jess really likes words games. I need
Yes.
to get ready, have some lunch or
Yes,
breakfast
you should. I think you're
before my stream and have a quick run out the house. But it's been, oh my gosh, I just remembered tonight is Thursday, and Thursday I have a date, a kind of
Oh,
not a romantic date, a kind of a date with a friend, with McCall, and
excellent.
so yeah, it is lovely to have McCall over, and we will be playing something. Maybe we will play this again. I don't know
Oh,
because
you're right.
yeah, just I mean, McCall enjoyed that. Anyway, I have there's no H in there. It's just MICOL. But yeah, I want to say again, thank you to everyone. Share, spread the word. I have to
Yes.
go now. Who shall we raid? Let us raid Piano Man Dom, if that is cool. Raid Piano Man Dom. Do you have any final words? Piano Man Dom plays really cool music. Hopefully,
I
do you
don't
have
have any last words. I want to hear the goodbye song.
bye, 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 bye. This is the goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, bye,
Bye bye.
bye, bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go.
Pa, pa,
Bye,
pa, pa,
bye,
pa,
bye,
pa,
bye.
pa.
This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to
To
go.
go. Thank you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.